Hello students, good morning. Today we will discuss exercise 3.3 remaining questions till fourth question we completed in previous class. So I will give you one advice. Don't try to solve the questions after taking any help. First just watch my video and try to solve all the questions yourself. This is one of the easiest exercise or easiest chapter of whole class 12th. So try to solve the questions yourself. Okay, so now I will explain you the remaining questions of exercise 3.4 or 3.3. Up to fourth question I completed in previous class. So now I will take from question number 5 onwards. So see, what is question number 5? Okay, let me open the page. Yeah, question number 5 is 4 we have completed. It is given that for matrices A and B, verify that AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. This is the property that you have to verify. So what are the steps you have to follow? First, we'll calculate left hand side. So to calculate left hand side, we'll find A into B. Okay. And then we'll take its transpose. That will become AB whole transpose. So left hand side is solved. Now come to the right hand side. In first step, calculate B transpose. Then calculate A transpose and take the product of B transpose and A transpose. Follow these steps. Your left hand side will become equal to right hand side. And we will say that it is verified. Like see, it is A and B are given. We will take A into B. So A into B you already know, so I will not elaborate on this. Now I will take the transpose of this. Transpose means you will change rows into columns. So keep this thing only in your mind. First row will become first column, second row will become second column, and third row will become third column. Now second steps, find A transpose. So we have taken transpose of this. It is a column matrix, it will become row matrix, and B transpose. Now take the product of B transpose into A transpose. So first we have written B transpose and then A transpose. Your product is equal to this much. So you just verify that AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. I am not explaining the multiplication because I am presuming as you have done exercise 3.2, so you know the multiplication. Similarly, second part is also there. So in second part also you can do in the same way. A and B is given. First you find A into B. Take the transpose of this. A into B transpose means change rows into columns. Now we'll find A transpose, B transpose and calculate B transpose into A transpose. So both will come equal. So in this case, in this way we can prove it. Question number 6 is given. A is given, a matrix is given, and you have to prove A transpose into A is equal to identity matrix. And second case also similar thing is given. So it's very simple. What to do? First we will find A transpose and then we'll take the product of A and A transpose and it will be identity matrix. So this is the solution. This is matrix A. To find A transpose, we have changed first row into first column, second row into second column like this. The second row will become second column. Now you will take the product of A and A transpose. So you multiply. On multiplication, the multiplication part I am not explaining. Try to solve yourself. Although it is given over here, if you have any doubts, you can take help from this. It will become sin square alpha plus cos square alpha, and then it is sin alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, sin alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, and sin square alpha cos square alpha. You can write this as 1, this is 0, this is 0, and again this is equal to 1. In this way we will have the identity matrix. Okay, so you can get the identity matrix. And second question is also similar. You have A, just get A transpose by changing rows into columns. Take the product. First you will write A transpose and in second number you would write A, take the product of these two. On taking product of these two, you will get this sine square alpha cos square alpha. This term is cancelled out. This term is also cancelled out. And in this way, you can prove it is equal to identity matrix. Question number 7. Show that this matrix is a symmetric matrix. So, definition of symmetric matrix is if A transpose is equal to A, the given matrix is symmetric. So, what to do? You take its transpose. On taking transpose, we will make first row as first column, second row as second column, third row as third column. This is the third column now. Now you see what is A transpose. We are getting the same matrix again. Okay, if on taking the transpose you are getting the same matrix again, means it is a symmetric matrix. This is the definition of symmetric matrix. If A transpose is equal to A. So how to solve for symmetric matrix? We'll take transpose of matrix. If you get the same matrix again, you can say it is a symmetric matrix. Such a simple question. Second part, show that this is a skew symmetric matrix. So skew symmetric matrix, we'll take the transpose of it. If transpose of the matrix becomes equal to negative of matrix, transpose of a matrix becomes equal to negative of matrix, then it will be a skew symmetric matrix. So I've taken A transpose and take negative sign from it throughout, or you multiply this by negative sign. So it will become 0. This minus 1 will become plus 1 as I have taken negative sign common. And this 1 will become minus 1. And in this way I have taken negative sign common. So this you see this is actually minus of A. So a given matrix is equal to, its transpose is equal to negative of itself. So we can say it is a skew symmetric matrix. Question number 8. For the matrix A is equal to this, verify that A plus A transpose is a symmetric matrix and A minus A transpose is skew symmetric. Very simple. First you will calculate A transpose. A is already given. Now we'll add A and A transpose. On adding you will get it is 2, 11 and 11, 14. You have to prove that this is a symmetric matrix. So it's to prove symmetric matrix, what we'll do? We'll take its transpose. On taking transpose, the first row will be first column, second row will be second column. On taking transpose of A plus A transpose, you are getting A plus A transpose again. So if on taking transpose of a matrix, you get the same matrix again, you can say it is a symmetric matrix. So in that way, it is symmetric. A plus A transpose, whole transpose is equal to A plus A transpose. So we can say it is a symmetric matrix. That's all. A minus A transpose is skew symmetric. So what we will do? First we will find A minus A transpose. Then we will take its transpose. You will get the negative of this. Negative of this. Then we can say it is a skew symmetric matrix. So first of all, we will find A minus A transpose. This A is given. A transpose is given. We will subtract the corresponding elements. So you got A minus A transpose is this. Now if you take the transpose of A minus A transpose, it is equal to 0, minus 1, 1 and 0. That is actually negative of A minus A transpose. Question number 9. One matrix is given asking to find half of A plus A transpose and half of A minus A transpose. So these questions are very, very simple. A is given, you get the A transpose, means change first row to first column, second row to second column, third row to third column. Now add both of these two. So we are adding these two. In adding the matrices, we add the corresponding elements, we get this thing multiplied by half. As it is null matrix, so multiplying with half will make no difference at all. It will remain the same thing. We got it. Now if you want to get A minus A transpose, half of A minus A transpose. So what we'll do, we'll subtract this A transpose from A. On subtracting, you are getting this matrix. How subtraction is done? We'll subtract the corresponding elements. Okay. Now you multiply it by half. So all the elements are multiplied by half. If we multiply a matrix by a number, all the elements are multiplied by that number. So you get it is half of A minus A transpose. Question number 10, express the following matrix as the sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrix. In previous class, I have explained in detail how to express them. So it's very simple type of question. To express a matrix as a sum of symmetric and skew-symmetric matrix, we'll find one matrix P, and that will be half of A plus A transpose. We'll find another matrix Q, that will be half of A minus A transpose. We'll write A equal to P plus Q. The given matrix A will be equal to P plus Q. That is the way to express a matrix as a sum of symmetric and skew-symmetric matrix. So in all questions you will follow the same method. So I'm just explaining. We will write A as 2A, and that can be written as A plus A, add A transpose divided into half, and subtract A transpose. Still it is A only, because A we have written as half of 2A. Alright, so 2A is A plus A, and we have taken A transpose minus A transpose. Now you can write it as half of this A plus A transpose, we can take separately. And the second part, half of A minus A transpose separately. We already know by the theorem this is a symmetric and this is skew-symmetric matrix. We'll write half of A plus A transpose as P, half of A minus A transpose as Q. So your A can be written as P plus Q. So whenever a question is being asked to convert a matrix into two parts, break a matrix into two parts, one is symmetric, another one is skew-symmetric. So how to solve it? We'll find half of A plus A transpose, that will be P, half of A minus A transpose, that will be Q. So the half of A plus A transpose means P will be a symmetric matrix always, and Q will be a skew-symmetric matrix. In this way you can solve it. Alright, so we'll follow these steps. First we will find P. What will be P? Half of A plus A transpose. Then we'll find Q, that is half of A minus A transpose, and write A equal to P plus Q. We will follow these steps to solve all such type of questions. So I'm explaining one or two because all are similar. So much repetition is there in this chapter. Similar type of so many questions are there. So you can manage all of them if you can solve one of them. Okay, so you just see I'm taking the first one part, like A is given this much. So first of all I will calculate A transpose. I have to convert A as a sum of symmetric and skew-symmetric matrix. First find A transpose, find A plus A transpose. So we add both these two, this and this. Addition means corresponding element. We got this thing. Now P is half of A plus A transpose. We will find P as I just explained you. So it is half of this thing. So multiply each term of the matrix by half. You will get this as P. P transpose is P definitely. So you can say it is a symmetric matrix. If you want to show it, it's okay. If you don't want to show it, it's a theorem. So you can directly write that half of A plus A transpose is a symmetric matrix. But it is shown over here. Next thing. Similarly, you get A minus A transpose. Subtract both these two. It is like this. Half of A minus A transpose, you are getting it is 0, minus 2, 2 and 0. This Q is actually skew-symmetric matrix. Alright, so we can write A is equal to P plus Q. Write the value of P, value of Q, and that would be answer. So in this way, in similar way, you can calculate the second question also. A, you calculate A transpose, then find A plus A transpose, sum of these two. Add these two. Half of A plus A transpose will be P. It is a symmetric matrix because P transpose will come P. So half of A plus A transpose be obtained. Similarly, you get A minus A transpose. Now you get half of A minus A transpose. So it is a skew-symmetric matrix. If you calculate the transpose of this, you will get it is minus Q. We can write A is equal to P plus Q. So we write the value of P, write the value of Q. Sum of these two will be equal to A only. So we can say we have expressed this A as sum of symmetric and skew-symmetric matrix. Third question is also similar. So you do the same thing. You have A, find A transpose. Now write A plus A transpose. Take half of that. It is P, which is a symmetric matrix. If we will take the transpose of P, you will get the symmetric matrix P only. Now you get half A minus A transpose. Half of A minus A transpose will be Q. This will be a skew symmetric matrix always. You need not to show it. If you want to show, it's okay. But if you are not showing, there's no problem, because it is a theorem that half of A plus A transpose is a symmetric matrix and half of A minus A transpose will be skew symmetric matrix. Add both these two, that will be equal to A only. So in similar way, you can do the question number 4 also. A is given, get A transpose, A plus A transpose. This is the matrix. P is half of A plus A transpose. And this P is a symmetric matrix you can show. Similarly, you get A minus A transpose. You will get this matrix. Find half of A minus A transpose, that will be Q. And you can show that this Q is a skew symmetric matrix. How to show? If you will take the transpose of this, you will get negative of this. So you got Q. A can be written as P plus Q. If you write P plus Q, it will be A. Out of this, P is a symmetric and Q is a skew symmetric matrix. Question number 11. If A and B are symmetric matrices of same order, then AB minus BA is a symmetric, is a skew symmetric matrix, symmetric matrix, zero matrix, identity matrix. Options are there. You have to identify one of them. So if any matrix is given, to verify whether it is a symmetric or skew symmetric, our first step is we will take transpose of that. Because what is definition of symmetric? We will take transpose of matrix. If you get same matrix again, you will say it is symmetric. We will take transpose of a matrix. If we will get negative of that, means if any matrix A is given, we will take transpose of A. If it comes A only, then you can say it is a symmetric. If it comes minus A, then we'll say it is skew symmetric. We'll use that one particular property. In this question, what is given? A and B are symmetric matrices. What's the meaning of that? As A is a symmetric matrix, so A transpose will be A only. And B is also a symmetric matrix, so B transpose is also equal to B. It is given. Okay, so this thing is given. A transpose is A and B transpose is B is given. Now you have to check about this matrix, whether this is a symmetric, skew symmetric or whatever. So to check it, we'll also take transpose of this. To know about a matrix, whether it is a symmetric or skew symmetric, we have to always take transpose of that. All right. So we have taken AB minus BA whole transpose. We know this property. A minus B whole transpose is A transpose minus B transpose. Using this property, I have written as this whole transpose is AB whole transpose minus BA whole transpose. Means I have taken transpose on this and transpose of this on this. Now we'll use this property. AB whole transpose is B transpose into A transpose. Means in this order is reversed, you see. In case of difference, order is not reversed. First we have taken transpose of this minus transpose of this. But in case of product, if it is AB whole transpose, then you will get it is equal to B transpose into A transpose. So this AB whole transpose will be B transpose into A transpose, and BA whole transpose will become A transpose into B transpose. But what is given? What is given? A transpose can be replaced by A and B transpose can be replaced by B. So in this we are replacing B transpose into A transpose as BA and A transpose into B transpose is AB, because it is given in the question. I can take negative sign common. So it is minus of AB minus B. I have taken negative sign common from here. Now you see we started with AB minus BA whole transpose. We started with this. And we got it is equal to minus AB. So it is negative of itself. So if a transpose of a matrix is equal to negative of matrix, then we say it is a skew symmetric matrix. So answer of this question is skew symmetric matrix. All right. Now this question is given. A is a matrix is given. It is given that A plus A transpose is identity matrix. What is alpha? A plus A transpose is identity matrix. What is alpha? So you see, We'll calculate it. To calculate this, we got A transpose. You add A plus A transpose. On adding A plus A transpose, and that is given equal to identity matrix. So on adding these two, it will be 2 cos alpha minus sin alpha plus sin alpha, it will become 0. Sin alpha minus sin alpha, it will become 0. And this is again 2 cos alpha. So on comparing these two matrices are equal. So corresponding elements must be equal. So 2 cos alpha is 0. 2 cos alpha is 1. It means cos alpha is half. Cos alpha half, we know that it is for alpha equal to 60 degree or pi by 3. That is the answer. Exercise 4 is about elementary transformations that we'll do separately. Now we'll start with the miscellaneous exercise. Elementary transformation of inverse, I will explain it with the exercise chapter number 4, where we'll discuss about the inverse of a matrix. So in the chapter number 3, your question number 1, it is based on properties of mathematical induction, that A is given equal to 0, 0, 1, 0. Show that AI plus BA raised to power whole n is equal to A raised to power ni plus n into A raised to power n minus 1 BA. It's a very important question. When I say it's an important question, you have to take care of that, because it can be asked in exam. Important means from CBSE point of view. Learn to solve that question. Let A is 0, 0, 1, 0. Now, you have to show that Pn, this is a principle of mathematical induction. So in principle of mathematical induction, first one we will find P1. Alright, so how to find P1? In this whole expression, you put n equal to 1. So left side it will become AI plus BA raised to power 1. Or right side it will become AI. And this is n means 1. A raised to power 0 into BA. So I have replaced n by 1 both the sides. So right side will also become equal to AI plus BA. Because this one, but in this one particular term, if I will put n equal to 1, so n is 1 and A raised to power 0 is also 1. So it is AI plus BA. Both the sides in this I have replaced n by 1. So left side on replacing this n by 1, it will be AI plus BA. Right side also it will become AI, because A raised to power 1 is A only, and this will also become BA only. So for n equal to 1, it is true, means we will say P1 is true. So result is true. Actually, principle of mathematical induction, we use 3 steps. First one, we'll check PA. Then we will let PK be true. And if PK plus 1 is also true, we can say it is true for all the natural numbers. Now, second one, let PK is this. So how to get PK? To get PK, just replace n by k in this expression throughout. So what will be PK? It will become AI plus BA raised to power k. In right side, it is A raised to power k into I plus k into A raised to power k minus 1 into BA. In this whole expression, I have replaced n by k. It is PK. Let it is true. Now we'll find PK plus 1. Statement PK plus 1. So in the same expression, we'll replace n by k plus 1. So I will take left hand side by replacing n by k plus 1, and I will prove right hand side. I will prove right hand side. If left hand side becomes equal to right hand side, we can say this will be true for all the natural numbers. So see, to write PK plus 1, I have taken left hand side, and in left hand side, I have replaced this n by k plus 1. In left hand side, I will replace this n by k plus 1. So it will become AI plus BA raised to power k plus 1. So I have taken AI plus BA raised to power k plus 1. That can be written as AI plus BA raised to power k into AI plus BA. K plus 1 I can split into 2 parts. Suppose it is given x plus 1, x raised to power k plus 1. We can write it as x raised to power k into x raised to power 1. In the similar way, I have written this AI plus BA raised to power k plus 1 as AI plus BA raised to power k into AI plus BA raised to power 1. Now, AI plus BA raised to power k, from this, as PK is true, we can replace this by ai plus ba raised to power k can be replaced by this term. So over here in this step, I have replaced ai plus ba raised to power k as a raised to power ki plus k into a raised to power k minus 1 ba. And this term is as it is. Should be clear. I have replaced this ai plus ba raised to power k using pk. Now, just open the bracket, multiply the corresponding terms. So a raised to power k into I is multiplied with ai. It will be a raised to power k plus 1. I into I is I only. I've used this property. You can note it down separately. I into I is I only. Because this is multiplied by this, you will get a raised to power k into a. You see how I have written this step. I will mark it. So few properties are used in this. What are these? First, I have multiplied this a raised to power k I with a raised to power a I. So it is a raised to power ki into ai. So a raised to power k into a is a raised to power k plus 1. It is I into I. I into I is I only, learn it. So you will have a raised to power k plus 1 into I. So I got this term. Alright. Now I will multiply a raised to power ki with the ba. A raised to power ki with the ba. So a raised to power ki with ba I will multiply, I will get this term, third one term. Now I will multiply this k a raised to power k minus 1 ba with the ai. So I'm not changed anything. I've written as it is. Only difference is this a raised to power k minus 1, and in this a is there. So this term will become a raised to power k. So I have written it is k as it is. You see, a raised to power k minus 1 into this a will become a raised to power k, and ba and I as it is. All other terms are as it is. So that I have just explained. Now, this a raised to power ki is multiplied with ba. So same way I have written this a raised to power. Now this term is multiplied with ba. So without any change, I have written it in the same way. This will be a into a, that is equal to a square. Now what is next step? It is a raised to power k plus 1 I. In these two terms, you can take a raised to power k into ba as common. A raised to power k into ba is common in both. But one more property I've used, that I into a is I only. So you note it down. When identity matrix is multiplied with any matrix, you will get that matrix only. I into a is equal to a only. So in this I into a is only. In this I into a is a only. Now I have taken, what is this term you see? First one term is k a raised to power k ba. Because I into a, I have taken it as a only. The next term to this one is plus a raised to power k. You see it is ba only. Because I into a is a only. So this term is common in both. So you can take this term as common, that is a raised to power k ba as common, and in bracket you will have k plus 1. Alright. Over here it is same thing. Now you have to find a square from given value of a. A is already given in the question. A is given this much. So as a is given, we will calculate a square. It is 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0. You just multiply these two by simple multiplication. All four terms will come 0. So this will be O only. O means 0. So a square is 0. So this term will become 0 only. Okay, this matrix a square is 0. So this term will become O only or 0 only. So you put this term as 0. So on replacing this term or 0, you will get right hand side is a raised to power k plus 1 I into k plus 1 into a raised to power ba into 0, that is a raised to power k plus 1 I plus k plus 1 into a raised to power k into ba. It means your pk plus 1 is true. what will be pk plus 1 from this? Pk plus 1 should be ai plus ba raised to power k plus 1 raised to power k plus 1 must be equal to a raised to power k plus 1 I plus k plus 1 into a raised to power k into ba. Means to get pk plus 1 in this whole expression, you replace each n by k plus 1. On replacing each n by k plus 1, you will get this as the expression, and which we have already proved. As we have proved this, so you can say this is true for all the natural numbers. This is the process which we use in case of proving anything using the principle of mathematical induction. Question number 2 is there. A matrix A is given. Prove that a raised to power n is this using the same principle of mathematical induction. So first one will get P1. So to get P1 in this whole expression, you replace n by 1. So it will be P1, that is a raised to power 1 is, it is 3 raised to power 0, 3 raised to power 0, 3 raised to power 0. All terms will become 3 raised to power 0 because we are replacing n by 1. And we know that 3 raised to power 0 is 1. So see, it will become a only. So a raised to power 1 is equal to a, so P1 is true. A raised to power 1 is coming equal to a only, so P1 is true. So if in this we replace n by 1, we will get this thing. A raised to power 1 is already given, we will get this thing. Now let pk be true. Let pk be true. So pk is true means in this whole expression you replace n by k. So we will get this term. Now next we will calculate pk plus 1. So to get pk plus 1, what we will do in the same expression, we will replace n by k plus 1. So left hand side will become a raised to power k plus 1. Left hand side will become a raised to power k plus 1. So in left hand side you will replace n by k plus 1. So a raised to power k plus 1, we will simplify it and we will prove it is equal to a raised to power k plus 1 will come 3 raised to power k, 3 raised to power k, because in this both the sides will replace n by k plus 1. So left side it will be a raised to power k plus 1 and right side it should be 3 raised to power k. All the terms should be 3 raised to power k because we will replace in this. To get pk plus 1, we will replace n by k plus 1. So what do you have to prove? We have to prove that a raised to power k plus 1 is equal to, you will get a matrix whose each term is 3 raised to power k. Because in this we are replacing n by k plus 1. So it will be k plus 1 minus 1. That will be 3 raised to power k only. So each term will be 3 raised to power k. That will prove. So we have taken a raised to power k plus 1. That can be written as a into a raised to power k. A is 1, 1, 1. And a raised to power k is 3 raised to power k minus 1. 3 raised to power k minus 1. A raised to power k is this much using the pk. In pk, we have proved that we have let this thing that a raised to power k is this much. Now you multiply both. So by simple multiplication, it will be 1 into 3 raised to power k minus 1, 1 into 3 raised to power k minus 1, this 1 into 3 raised to power k minus 1. In this way, first term will be 3 into 3 raised to power k minus 1. And 3 into 3 raised to power k minus 1 will be 3 raised to power k. Alright, so in this way, we can prove this question also. Question number 3, a is given 3, 1, minus 4, minus 1. Then prove that a raised to power n is this. So first of all, we'll check for P1. In this you put n equal to 1. On replacing n by 1, you will get it is 3, minus 4, 1 and minus 1. You are getting a. So a raised to power 1 is equal to a only. That is true. Now let pk be true. Pk true means a raised to power k will be, to get pk in this whole expression we will replace n by k. So pk means a raised to power k will be 1 plus 2k minus 4k, k and 1 minus 2k. That we got pk. Now you have to prove pk plus 1. So to prove pk plus 1, what do you have to prove? The left hand side will become a raised to power k plus 1. A raised to power k plus 1. And right hand side, what you should get? In right hand side we should get 1 plus 2 into k plus 1. This is the first term. Minus 4 into k plus 1 is second term. and k plus 1 is this term. 1 minus 2 into k plus 1 is this term. If we get this thing, a raised to power k plus 1 is equal to this thing, we will say that pk plus 1 is also true. All right. So let us check it. A raised to power k plus 1. That will be a raised to power k into a. So this is a raised to power k and this is a. You multiply both these two. On multiplication, you are going to get, it is 1 plus 2 into k plus 1 minus 4 into k plus 1, 1 plus k into 1 minus 2 into k plus 1. And as per pk plus 1, we have to prove the same thing. Because in this expression, you replace k by k plus 1, we are getting this thing only. So your pk plus 1 is also true. So as pk plus 1 is also true, we can say this is true for all the natural numbers. Question number 4, if A and B are symmetric matrix, prove that AB minus BA is a skew symmetric matrix. This question we did in the previous exercise also. If A and B are symmetric matrix, means A transpose is equal to A and B transpose is equal to B. We have to prove that AB minus BA is skew symmetric. So you take the transpose of this whole AB minus BA. So AB minus BA whole transpose will be AB transpose minus BA transpose using this property. AB whole transpose is B transpose into A transpose using this property. BA whole transpose will be A transpose into B transpose using the same property. Now B transpose is given equal to B. A transpose is given equal to A. So we replace all these terms. This will be BA minus AB. You can take negative sign common. It will be AB minus BA. So AB minus BA transpose is negative of AB minus BA, means a matrix, a transpose of matrix is negative of itself, means it is a skew symmetric matrix. Question number 5. Show that the matrix B transpose AB is a symmetric or skew symmetric. According to A is symmetric or skew symmetric. You have to prove that B dash A into B will be symmetric if A is symmetric. It will be skew symmetric if A is skew symmetric. That you have to prove. All right. So B dash into A into B will be symmetric if A is symmetric, and B dash A into B will be skew symmetric if A is skew symmetric. That you have to prove. So first, suppose A is symmetric matrix. First we have taken, suppose A is symmetric matrix. No problem. So A symmetric matrix means A transpose is A only. Now what we'll do, we want to check whether it is a symmetric or skew symmetric. So the checking to find whether a matrix is symmetric or skew symmetric, our simple method is we take transpose of that matrix. So what we'll do in this case, we will take transpose of B dash into AB. So you take the transpose of B dash into AB. While taking transpose, actually there are three matrices. So to make it simple, we are taking this AB as a single matrix and B dash is another matrix. This AB, whole AB, initially we will consider this as a one matrix only. And B dash is another matrix. So now we'll apply first formula of product of two matrices. So what is product of two matrices? First we'll get transpose of this into transpose of this. So it will become AB whole transpose into B transpose using this property. All right, A into B, we have taken it as a one matrix only while applying this formula. So it will be AB whole transpose into B transpose whole transpose. Now you further move. How? You now write this AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose, and B transpose whole transpose is B only. That we know. Now you again reclub them. How? Keep this B transpose as it is and A transpose into B in this bracket. As A transpose is already given equal to A, so we can replace this A transpose as A. So it will be B dash into AB. B transpose into AB. We started with B transpose into AB whole transpose, and it is finally equal to B transpose into AB, means the transpose of the matrix is equal to matrix itself. So we can say that it is a symmetric matrix. That's all. The only difference in this question I am making is I am taking AB as a single matrix, or to understand in better way, you can also write it as B dash into, initially you can take it as X whole transpose. We can write it will be the X transpose into B transpose whole transpose. X is now replace value of X, that is AB. AB whole transpose, this is B only. AB whole transpose will become B transpose into A transpose into B only. You take this in the one bracket, or you simply replace A by A transpose by A. So you will get it is equal to B transpose into AB. When A transpose is given equal to A, you are getting it is equal to B transpose into AB. So we are taking the transpose of B transpose into AB, and we are getting it is as the same thing. So you can say it is a symmetric matrix. In second part, what do you have to do? When it is given skew symmetric. So nothing is new in this question. You simply replace A transpose by negative of A. When A is skew symmetric means A transpose is negative of A. We have done the same thing. Over here only we have replaced this A transpose by negative of A. On taking A transpose, replacing A transpose by negative of A, this whole thing become B dash AB whole transpose will become negative of B dash AB. It means transpose of a matrix is negative of itself. It means it is a skew symmetric matrix. That's all. While applying this formula, we have taken AB as a single matrix. That you have to keep in mind. You can directly take AB, or for time being you can replace AB by X if you have any doubts, as I explained in previous part of the same question. Previous part of the same question. Now see, question number 6 is actually mixed. I will explain something else. Question number 7. For what value of X, this is equal to O. So nothing is there. You have to multiply these three matrices. So to multiply these three matrices, first we will multiply these two. It is a matrix of 1 into 3 order. This is 3 into 3 order. So finally you will get a matrix of 1 into 3 order. So you multiply these two matrices. First, this row is multiplied by the first column. You will get the first element. Now this row is multiplied by the second column. You will get the second element. This row will be multiplied by the third column. You will get the third element. So this matrix becomes 6 to 4, and this third matrix is given 0 to 4. Now you multiply these two. You will get only one element, because this is 1 into 3 order and this is 3 into 1 order. So finally matrix will be of 1 into 1 order. So you multiply these two. 6 into 0 is 1, plus 2 into 2, that is 4, plus 4x. At right side it is equal to null. Matrix of the same order you have to take. Okay, this null matrix will be of the same order. So it is equal to 0. In this way we can get the value of x is equal to 1. Question number 8 is there. A is given. It is show that a square minus 5a plus 7i is equal to O. Similar type of question we have already done in previous exercises also. So it's quite simple. First of all, to get a square, we'll multiply a with a. You multiply both, you will get this as the answer. So try these questions yourself. I'm just explaining the way. Now you have the a square. This is a square. You have a, and identity matrix always we will take by our own choice. It will be of the same order, because we can add matrices only if they have the same order. So this is a square minus 5 into a plus 7 into identity matrix. So first I will multiply by this 5 all the terms of this, and 7 all the terms of this. So it will become 15 minus 5, 5, 10. This is 7, 0, 0, 7. Now you add all these. In this I have added first these two and then this or you can directly add all these three. It will become 8 minus 15 plus 7, like that. 8 from this minus 15 plus 7. Or first you add these two and then this third one matrix. So you are going to get the null matrix. In this way, we can get a square minus 5a plus 7a. Question number 9. It is again the very simple question. First, this matrix and this matrix are given. Take the product of these two. On taking product of these two, you will get a row matrix. So you will get first this into this plus this into this plus this into this, then this into this plus this into this and this into this. Like this you can take product. You will get 1 into 3 matrix. This is 3 into 1 matrix. Again take the product of these two. You will get one element only, and that is in right side it is given equal to null matrix. Equate these two, you will get the value of x. Question number 10. A manufacturer produces 3 product X, Y and Z, which is sales in 2 markets. Annual sales are indicated as this. This is a product 1, market 1. This much product is sold. In market 2, this much product is sold. A. If unit sale price of XYZ are 2.50, 1.50 and 1 respectively, find the total revenue in each market with the help of matrix algebra. So to get the first market, what will you do? Actually, we'll take the product sold in first market as a row matrix and their prices as a column matrix. When we'll multiply these two, we'll get a matrix having only one element. So we multiply these two. So number of product in first market we'll take as a row matrix and their respective prices we'll take as a column matrix. On multiplying both of these two, you will get a single element and that will be the revenue in the first market. In the same way, we'll do that for the second market. Number of product in second market we'll take as a column matrix, row matrix, and their respective prices as the column matrix. Now, when we'll multiply these two, you will get a single element and that will be the revenue of the in that one particular market. In this case, in this way, we can get this question. In second case, prices are just changed. It is a similar question. In first case, prices are 2.50, 1.50 and 1 only. In second case, prices are 2, 1 and 50 paise. So you can write 2, 1 and 50 paise, and you will do this also in the same way. Means quantity you will take as a row matrix and their respective prices as a column matrix. On multiplying both of these two, you will get the corresponding answer. Question number 11 is given. Find the matrix X so that this is equal to this. In these questions, how to solve it? Actually, first of all, you have to let a matrix X. For that, you have to decide the order of matrix X first of all. Order of matrix X. So how to decide the order of matrix? That is a very important thing. In this order is very important. This is a 2 into 3 matrix and your answer is also a 2 into 3 matrix. So what will be order of X that you have to decide first. Then only we'll let X as some matrix. So see, let order of X is M into N. Order of this matrix is 2 into 3. Alright. So one thing, their product is possible. It means N is 2. Is it clear? Because product of two matrices is possible only if number of columns in first is equal to number of rows in second. So product of X and this is possible, and this matrix is of the order of 2 into 3. It means definitely number of columns in 2 is X is equal to 2. Further, so number of rows, their product will have order M into 3. When we take product of this and this, it will have order M into 3. But what is the order of this? That is 2 into 3. It means M is also equal to 2. I will explain it again. See it carefully. First of all, I have to decide the order of X. So I am explaining it Over here, how to decide the order of x? This is a matrix of 2 into 3 order. This is also a matrix of 2 into 3 order, which is the answer. So suppose order of x is m into n. All right, we have to find m and n. So see, as we are taking product of x and this matrix, so product of two matrices is possible if only number of columns in first matrix is equal to number of rows in second. It means number of columns in x is equal to 2. So n is 2. Further, what would be the answer? If we multiply two matrices, this and this, the product will have order equal to number of rows into this and number of columns into this. Number of row in first matrix into number of columns in second. So what will be the order of their product? It should be m into 3. But we already know the order of their product, that is 2 into 3. So m is also 2. So using the property of product, you can do it. It means the order of x is 2 into 2. Again, I am explaining it. We let the order of x as m into n. So first condition, n we can directly know because x into this product of this matrix is possible. So number of columns in x must be equal to number of rows in this. So number of column in x we have taken n. So that must be equal to 2. So number of column we obtained. Second thing, when we take the product of two matrices, the answer will have the order equal to number of rows in first into number of columns in second. So answer I have order 2 into 3 means 2 is the number of rows in first matrix. So now we have number of rows in first matrix is 2. Number of columns in first matrix is also equal to 2. It means your x is a 2 into 2 matrix. Now we can solve it easily because we let x as a 2 into 2 matrix. So in this question, the deciding the order of matrix is the most important thing. Deciding the order of matrix is the most important thing. So now we let x as a 2 into 2 order matrix. We'll multiply x into this matrix is equal to this much. On multiplication, now you simply equate the corresponding terms. Equating the corresponding terms, you will get a plus 4c is equal to minus 7. On equating corresponding terms, you can further simplify it by eliminating the terms and get the ABCD. So simplification, I'm not going to explain it. I hope you can simplify them. Or if you have any doubts, it is explained. You can take a screenshot and you can check from here. Because simplification is, I hope you all know in class 12th how to simplify it. Question number 12. If A and B are square matrices of the same order and AB is equal to BA, then prove that by the induction that ABN is equal to B raised to power n into A and AB raised to power whole n is equal to AN into BN. So by mathematical induction, first we will calculate P1. So P1 means AB is equal to BA. You put n equal to 1 and it is already given that AB is equal to BA. So P1 is true. We'll replace n by 1 in this expression. So AB is equal to BA, that is already given. Now let PK be true, we'll let it is true. Now come to the PK plus 1. So if PK plus 1, what do you have to prove actually? To prove PK plus 1, we have to prove that AB raised to power K plus 1 must be equal to B raised to power K plus 1 into A. If you can prove this thing, it will be true for all natural numbers. So we'll proceed. We will take this thing left hand side and we'll prove it is equal to this much. So what we have taken? We have taken AB raised to power K plus 1. So B raised to power K plus 1 can be written as B raised to power K into B. Now AB raised to power K is already given equal to in this, you see equation number 1. It is given equal to B raised to power K into A. So this AB raised to power K is written as B raised to power K into A. You can apply the associative law. BK you can take out and you can write it as AB. So it is BK into AB. Now AB is already given equal to BA. So replace this AB by BA. So it will become B raised to power K into B. Again apply associative law. Put the bracket for these two and take A outside. So B raised to power K into B will become B raised to power K plus 1. And the same thing you have to prove, which we are able to prove. It is quite simple. To prove Pk plus 1, actually we have to prove that AB raised to power K plus 1 will be equal to B raised to power K plus 1 into A. We'll start with this and we'll prove it is equal to this much. So in this way we can prove this question. Second part is AB raised to power whole n is equal to A raised to power n into B raised to power n. That you have to prove. So we know that for n equal to 1, you put n equal to 1, it will be AB raised to power whole 1 equal to A1 into B1, that is AB. So which is true? Let Pk be true. So in this both side you put n equal to 1. Now you have to prove Pk plus 1. So what to prove actually? First I will tell you what will be Pk plus 1. In this Pk plus 1 will be AB raised to power K plus 1. You have to prove it is equal to A raised to power K plus 1 into B raised to power K plus 1. That you have to prove. So we'll start with this. We can write it as AB raised to power K into AB. Now it is given that AB raised to power K is A raised to power K into B raised to power K. You can write it as A raised to power K into B raised to power K into AB. A raised to power K into B raised to power K into AB. Now we know that B raised to power K into A, from first part it is A into B raised to power K. From first part it is A into B raised to power K. So we can write it is A raised to power K into A into B raised to power K into B. So it will become A raised to power K plus 1 into B raised to power K plus 1, which we have to prove. Hence it is true for all natural numbers. Hence it is true for all the natural numbers. Thank you guys. So videos become so lengthy. So now you can try, let me see some other questions are there or not. So one or two final questions are there that I will take in the next class. Thank you.